paper's kind of paper. Okay, literary. Yes. One of those cloudy days, it's hard to wake up. Did everybody get this correct? Affect. This is the verb. Everybody, nobody has any questions on this first page? You see how you do straight A's? That apostrophe in there?
I got that. Didn't get everything else, but I got that.
You know, that was, that threw me off a little bit because, you know, you write 1980s with the S, not the S, apostrophe S. And that's what we were told in December, but that rule doesn't apply here because if we wrote without the apostrophe, it would be the word as. So you have to use the apostrophe.
Yeah. But it is a capital A.
Yes.
And the word, however, you always put commas around that. If it starts the sentence, you put a comma after that.
Did you all use your comma in the however in your notes? Remember we talked about it last week?
Yeah, there is an outline of that with the
Yeah.
commas in
I
it.
dropped way too much.
Which however are you talking about?
Right here.
Oh, yeah, I did it. That's the only thing I got right. And
Now, you know,
I
don't,
know, that's what I
that's
said.
the A.
It's like I got the A's and the
Yeah,
effects.
I remember. it
don't
from
lose,
English.
don't lose the test trying to get those commas in, because you can always put them in editing.
Yeah, I only put them when I.
But just remember to put them in, for sure. But there usually are outlines like, you know, as far as, and other little clauses that
Introduction.
will come with the commas.
How about, where it says, take the case of Michael, a high school senior.
Uh-huh.
How come Michael doesn't have commas around it? Because, is it?
Well, if it was, take the case of this boy, Michael,
Oh, okay.
then you would surround it with commas.
I thought because it said a high school senior, you know.
So either would it be a comma after senior, and then like is it your consideration?
No. No, it should be a period.
It did a period.
Yeah. Because really, right here, you're leaving out the word you. You take the case of Michael, a high school senior, so that is a complete sentence. It's just a given that the you would be there.
That's what we call an imperative, right?
Oh.
I'm trying to think back to my grammar days.
I know, that was too long ago. Next page.
Would you, on the first paragraph there, school's a hard time for most people, and unfortunately, would you separate unfortunately with commas?
I would.
It wouldn't- Would you?
I would take the comma away from people. I would
And then put a comma after and then after unfortunately?
Uh-huh, that's how I
That's what
would do
thought,
it.
yeah.
See, and here's another however. In this sentence here, what happens, however, is that as teens grow older, comma, they change and what they enjoy changes. That's one thing. Believe in changes is another thing. And things in common with other teams change. So that's kind of like a list. So that's why you would have these commas here. So that's three things. Any questions?
Okay, I did not put a comma in the fourth last line. These changes, I didn't put a
Yeah,
comma.
dealing with these changes and finding ways to remain strong friends with one another is not,
Yeah,
I don't think that comma needs to be there. Like maybe dealing with these changes, comma, leave out that and.
yeah.
Finding ways to remain strong friends with one another,
Comma.
Okay? What, do I have to get up here and dance? No. Maybe you guys should come up here and dance. What you didn't know as a teen, that you could have blamed everything on your hormones. Is that it?
Yep.
Everybody good on this lit? Did you learn a lot? Sorry, that was late. I laptop too. Thank you. Okay, jury charge. Well, this is kind of a strange paragraph here. Then I will
I put
explain
in semicolons.
between each, before
Yeah.
each then.
Yeah.
Or else, you know, I mean, why not a period here?
I know.
Yeah, I'm
It
kind
was
of
really
confused
hard.
with that.
It was hard to punctuate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have put a period here, capitalize and, put commas around last.
Mhm.
It doesn't seem correct to me to have periods after these,
And then not.
you know, and then not
Yeah.
with that third one, so. Now, what about this?
I would just love that.
In court? See, that shouldn't be capitalized.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
Did you?
Nope.
no, because we're not talking about the judge.
It was like having heard in the courtroom.
Yeah, as opposed to like saw and heard here from the court.
Yeah.
So, you know, then you would capitalize it.
That was a good job.
And I tell you, you know, this is I was always told, you know, don't like read a billboard and see the punctuation there, or even in the newspaper. There's a lot of incorrect punctuation in the newspapers I have seen. You know, so just because you see something written down somewhere doesn't mean it's always correct. For instance, this I don't believe is correct in here. So, you know, do your own research. Remember your rules of grammar and punctuation. Did everybody make any way 2 words? Yep. Good. Any more questions? Oh, I pull it up, don't I? Now see, here's a good example of when a paragraph is good. You're talking about the first duty and then your second duty. So that's a good indication of starting a new paragraph.
Do we get points off like if we don't, like have the paragraphs in according to that?
No,
Oh.
no. You shouldn't. Because you could put this all in one and it wouldn't be incorrect, but when you have a 1 and a 2 and a 3, those are usually good indications of.
Yeah, I put it all together.
That's okay. It's not incorrect. But, you know, if you're trying to figure out where to put a paragraph, these are good indicators. First, second. Okay, any other questions? This first page? Yeah, you know, just like the court.
Or here.
Any questions?
So you wouldn't put a comma after sympathy, where it says do not let any bias, sympathy, or prejudice?
It used to be that way, but I think that's pretty much fallen to the wayside, where you don't need to put that comma in.
Is it because it's or?
No, even if you have, you know, apples, comma, oranges, and pears, you don't put that comma after pears anymore. I don't think it's incorrect, but I know I used to always put a comma before it, but you know, it just kind of relaxed on that. Did you get counted off?
No. Well, she didn't even grade the second page because I missed too many, but,
Yeah.
I thought that was like the rule now.
Yeah, I would just put it in, but that's because, you know, like you, this is a standard habit, and that way you don't have to wrestle with, you know, this idea, just do it anyway, and stick it in there, in the series.
Yeah, I don't think it would be incorrect either way. And see, here you've got comma surrounding simply.
I didn't put commas. Might have been the way I heard it.
Yeah. Because you can leave that out and it still makes sense. Here's another little therefore.
What about the word, as a result? Like, say it starts as a result,
Comma.
comma, so there's always a comma after as
Yeah.
a result, okay?
And that's a great brief too.
Yeah.
And that probably could be programmed to automatically have the comma.
That's very fun.
But,
Yeah. You need to put that in your dictionary.
But what if it's in the middle of the sentence?
Then you need to have, were you here last week?
Yeah, no.
No, okay. I had, wasn't it last week that I did
No,
that,
you
however?
said the weekend.
Okay. What you do is put a dictionary entry.
No, I know what to do, but what if it's in the middle of the sentence?
That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Make a dictionary entry using as a result, but sticking an asterisk. And then your dictionary entry will be a suffix.
Oh, okay.
And comma before, space, as a result, comma. But that would be the asterisk ULT.
So use the asterisk when it's in the middle of the sentence, and then,
But you have to have it in your dictionary.
yes, and then not when it's starting the sentence, right?
Right. Okay, next page. Number are we on here? Same with, in other words, comma.
Yeah, that's good.
Did you get your commas here? Here? commas there? I would have. Because it's kind of extraneous.
Yeah.
They
you're
consider
right.
the testimony of all the witnesses and all the exhibits received in
Well,
evidence.
and then that, leave it.
Yeah, that's true. And here's another in court. Now, I think these two, I don't know why this has its own little paragraph, because I think it should attach up there. It's talking about the same thing. Is that far enough on this?
Yeah, but I wanted you to go back, go further down. There's an interesting combination there, and I see what they did. It's not what I did. Nothing else is evidence, period. My legal rulings are not evidence. I put semicolon because, okay, my comments and questions are not evidence, semicolon. The opening and closing statements are not evidence, semicolon. Questions asked by the lawyers or witnesses are not evidence, semicolon. They put periods, but it's like, it's pretty choppy. Because it's all one
Thought.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, both are correct. But
Yeah.
that's what I did, so.
Yeah, you could put.
Just food for thought for the others.
But definitely, this would have its own sentence.
Yeah, only that, I did that one as
Yeah.
a new sentence, yes. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Now, our favorite one. Comma here, right?
Yeah, and we put a question mark.
Comma here.
See the first line, they put a question mark?
Yeah, I think you can go either way on that. I know it's really not a question. It's, they're not asking the person if they would. They're telling the person to do it.
Yeah.
So you can do either one on that.
The problem is that when you're writing it, you just want to keep up. You haven't got time to put in a period and then your question mark. if
Well,
you're
especially
answering.
when your
Yeah.
question
under
mark
stress.
will put the A on the next line.
Yeah.
Yes, Yvonne?
The verbal, do we have a comma? Or how old are you?
How old are you, comma?
Yeah, how old are you, comma, Mr. Allen?
Always, always, always. That will be an error. Mhm. And again, now, comma, Mr. Allen, comma, because you're addressing that person. Here again, do you know a man by the name of Gary Mason? Yes, sir, I do, period. Not, well, I don't like that. Yes, comma, sir, comma, I do, comma, he lived, no. Because this is more extraneous. The guy didn't say, does he live close to you and do you work at the same company? The witness just threw those in. And the attorney says, answer yes or no. Do not add anything else.
Why is it so much easier to punctuate the Q&A than it is to punctuate anything else?
Because
Get less errors on that, on Q&A than I do.
less errors on the punctuation.
Yes, on punctuation.
Well, and sometimes the Q&A can be tricky because the spoken word does not necessarily have to be grammatically correct. So, it can be pretty tricky as well. But I know, jury charge, they just ramble on so much, those long sentences in jury charge. In literary, if you don't get those periods in there, you don't even know how to punctuate it. So yeah, it's more difficult. And the fact that you just have the question and the answers makes it easier. Now, flare up.
Oh, I don't put hyphen.
I didn't even know, like, I put a P and I could have figured out,
A P.
like when I wrote it, I didn't put flare, like I put a P instead of an F.
Flare?
Yes! And I was like, what am I trying to put? And I don't even know. I put
I want to see someone flare up.
pump up or something. I didn't know what I was trying to write.
Well,
That shouldn't be hyphenated.
Was
I don't think it should be hyphenated.
No.
And I tell you, I never put these quotes around stuff like this. When you say flare up, he's just saying, when you say what you said, what do you mean? I think this is just getting a little too something.
More editing.
Yeah,
Yeah, they should just be like, what do you mean by that?
yeah. Uh-huh. But then again, I guess that can be up to the individual. But you really try to make your transcript, you don't want to interject anything of a personal nature in there. I would only use quotes if the attorney said, and when you say quote, flare up, end quote, then I'd put quotes. But if the attorney doesn't say that, I don't know why I have the right to assume that he's, quoting the person. See what I'm saying? Just like you would never put an explanation point in a transcript, because then you're interjecting your own feelings. The person could just be speaking loudly, and you might assume that they're exclaiming something, but you can't. You just can't assume things. I bet you anything he didn't say behind. If he's flaring up. Okay, are we done on this page? You done? Randy? She and I have a little joke. And then, like, with this little phrase, to the best of your knowledge, you would always put a comma before that phrase. Even if it's in the beginning, to the best of your knowledge, comma, did he ever? Did you put your comma here?
So I was kind of like on the fence about it.
No, always,
If
always.
I did it, just like, okay, I'm just gonna do it, but I was gonna put a period in, absolutely not.
Well, it's still answering the question. Did you ever have an argument with him? Absolutely not. So it's still answering the question. So you would put a comma and then the period. Here again, did he move out of the house? Yes, comma, he did, period. That's it. The question was, did he move out of the house into an apartment? Yes, he did. He moved into an apartment. Then it would be one sentence. Now, I would have put a comma after, no comma, not really comma, other than, because that, it just doesn't make sense. No comma, not really, other than, because, yeah. You agree with that, Grant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, ready to turn? And here again, thing, comma, yes. And if it was the other way around, yes, comma, I guess that would be the normal thing. So either if it starts a sentence or ends a sentence, you set it off with a comma. Did you guys do not really comma, at least not to me? Did you make it two sentences? I think that would be correct.
You know, he took like points off for that, like if you, not
They-
that you corrected it as a comma and then there's one sentence, but.
They did count off? I don't think they count off for punctuation on these, unless, you know, it would be a difference in passing. But this, I think you could do it either way. Not really, period. At least not to me. Now here again, let's see if I can pull this up. Did he ever say anything to you about how his job was going? No. And then, but Gary was young.
A crazy error there. The last, second last answer, the last line.
Oh, this
Yeah,
one?
right there. Yeah, I had in my notes, instead of going, I had doing. No, yeah, I had doing. No, I had, oh, it is going.
Wait, where,
Okay, no, then I misunderstood.
are you talking about this doing?
I really think everything he was, I really think he was doing well. Oh, he was doing well,
Uh-huh.
okay? And things were going in the right direction. Well, I really think everything was going well.
Oh,
And it was because I had misstroked the D, and I put a G.
uh-huh.
I had TKPW, and I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't have made any sense.
That's
I really
crazy.
think he was going well.
I know, that's what I.
You know, we say trust your notes, but sometimes...
No, it's because I had dropped the word E.
Oh,
So I really
think...
think everything was going well,
Oh, okay.
and things were going in the right direction.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know that it would be grounds for an appeal.
No, I doubt it. questions? All righty. Oh, this fell off. There you go. You guys are good for showing up today.
Yeah.
Get a star.